Recently, I took my truck into the mechanic shop because the water pump had gone out. As I watched the gentleman replacing the water pump standing in the rain, pouring down on his head, replacing the parts, I remember a conversation that I'd had with the owner of the mechanic shop when I first brought it in. I asked a really direct but very simple question. Will he replace the belt and the thermostat while he's replacing the water pump? From my experiences, both doing it myself and paying others to do it, I know there's a whole lot of labor that goes into replacing a water pump. A lot more cost of labor than there is cost of parts. Here's another thing I know. A thermostat costs about $6 to $10, and a belt $10 to $30. So for $40 worth of parts, I could have a new belt and a new thermostat while they're replacing the water pump because it's all the same labor. You got to take them both off anyway. When I got the ticket at the end of the day, it only listed the water pump. And so I asked the service technician, why is it that they didn't replace the thermostat while they had it off? Why didn't they replace the belt while they had it off? And he said, I can't answer that question for you because I don't know what his motives were. Well, I can be honest and tell you, I don't know what his motives were either. I couldn't judge those for him. I can think of a couple of reasons. Number one might be that he just didn't think about what was beneficial to me. He thought about what was easiest for him. It'll be easier to get out of the rain, to get it done faster, to get the money and get on down the road if I don't put these new parts on. Honestly, they would have cost about 5 minutes worth of different time. And that was mostly going to the parts store to get them. He might have thought, if I don't put these parts on now, and we know for a fact that they're already worn out because the water pump is, then when he comes back, I'll collect the difference in labor and sell the same parts at the same price. But this is labor I won't get paid for now because it's all part of the same job. Now, without judging his motives, I can tell you how it made me feel as a customer. In John Maxwell's book, Leadership Gold, he says, here's how you lose trust. Acting inconsistently with what you do and say, seeking personal gain above shared gain, withholding information, lying and telling half-truths, and being closed-minded. I would have to be honest and say in that incident, all of those things were present. It's a sad thing when the person that does your mechanic work loses your trust. But I have to say, I honestly question why he would decide not to do the work that was in front of him when it was available. Excellent life leadership is about teaching leadership principles to young men and young women who are growing up in a world where those things seem to be absent. It's not the norm to have a great attitude. It's not the norm to be a great communicator. It's not the norm to make the decision that best serves those around you. It's the norm to be selfish. It's the norm to be entitled. It's the norm to communicate in a way that seems right to you without regard for who it offends. Excellent Life Leadership at 1901 Central Drive in Bedford, Texas, right at the corner of 183 and Central, Suite 305. We will be starting a series of leadership training opportunities. The first one will be built around Becoming a Person of Influence by Dr. John Maxwell. It's one of the pieces that, as a certified leadership coach with the John Maxwell team, I'm authorized to train around. We'll be doing a book study starting in July, and I encourage you to get here. If your kids are out for the summer and you can get them up early in the morning, I would love for them to participate. It's only $10 a week. It'll be going on for 10 weeks. We would love to get them engaged in learning to be a person of influence, becoming a leader right where they are, regardless of age, regardless of education level. We would love to influence them. Again, my name is J Loren Norris with Excellent Life Leadership. We would love to see you join us to grow the power of your leadership and become a person of influence.